Before I begin, I want to name something. I am deeply grateful. Grateful for my life, grateful for my family, grateful for my community, grateful for the people I love, and honestly, for the people I struggle with, because I've come to understand something over time. Everyone I interact with is one of my teachers, not in a sentimental way, not because every interaction is pleasant, but because every relationship shows me something precise. They show me where I am still not free. The places where I get activated, the places where I contract, the places where I feel defensive, resentful, needy, superior, withdrawn. Those moments are not failures. They are assignments. Life keeps giving me my work through people, through my partner, through my children, through my parents, through clients, through friends, through strangers. Every reaction is information. Every moment of friction is a doorway. And when I'm willing to slow down and listen and sit in stillness, not in the story in my head, but to what's happening in my body, I can feel exactly where love stops flowing, where I stopped receiving, where I tightened, where I project, where I manage, where I try to control. That's not a moral issue. It's a structural one. And that's what this reflection is about. Not fixing ourselves, not transcending our humanity, not becoming better people, but restoring the natural order that allows love to flow again, because most of our suffering doesn't come from a lack of love. It comes from the places where receiving it no longer feels safe. There is something most of us don't realize until much later in life. We think we have trouble receiving love because we are guarded or afraid or unworthy or too independent. And that's not actually where it starts. The difficulty receiving love begins much earlier, long before language, long before memory, long before choice. It begins in the family system. When we come into the world, we are wired to receive, not to earn, not to manage, not to deserve, to receive. Love is meant to flow in one direction at first, from parents to children, downward. The parents are the big ones. The child is the little one. And when that order is intact, the child's body knows something very simple. I belong. I can relax. Life is coming to me. Receiving isn't something the child does. It's something that happens naturally when the system is in order. But for many of us, that order didn't hold. Not because our parents were bad, not because they didn't love us, but because they were human. They carried their own pain, their own losses, their own unprocessed grief, trauma, deprivation, fear. And children are exquisitely sensitive to this. A child doesn't need to be told, this is too much. The child feels it. And in that moment, something very subtle happens. The child moves, not physically, systemically. The child senses something here is too heavy, and out of love, the child adapts. I'll be good. I won't need so much. I'll be easy. I'll stay small. I'll take care of you. I won't burden you. This is not pathology. This is love. But it comes at a cost, because the moment the child turns upward to give, the receiving channel closes. In family constellation language, this is precise. A child who gives upward cannot receive downward. The flow reverses. And when the flow reverses, receiving stops. Not because love disappears, but because taking it would feel dangerous or disloyal or unbearable. Many of us made unconscious vows. We never spoke them out loud, but the body remembers them. I won't have more than you. I won't be happier than you. I won't take what you didn't get. I'll stay close by staying small. And from that place, receiving love becomes complicated. As adults, love might come towards us from partners, friends, opportunities, life itself, but it doesn't land. We deflect it. We minimize it. We earn it. We give back immediately. We apologize for needing. We shut down when it gets too close. And we think the problem is vulnerability. But it's not. The problem is place. Many adults are still standing in a child's adaptive position, turned toward the parents, protecting, managing, remaining loyal, trying to receive love while facing the wrong direction. So love shows up, but the system can't hold it. Healing the ability to receive love does not begin with opening the heart. It begins with returning to the right place. And that movement is simple, but not easy. The most powerful sentence in this work is not poetic, it's structural. You are the big ones. I am the little one. When these words land, not in the mind, but in the body, something softens. The shoulders drop. The breath deepens. The effort relaxes because the child no longer has to hold what never belonged to them. Another essential movement is taking our parents exactly as they are. Not the parents we wanted, not the parents we deserved, not the parents they could have been, but the parents we got. In constellation work, partial taking equals partial life. When we reject aspects of our parents, we also reject the life that came through them. And then we wonder why receiving feels limited. The healing sentence is simple and confronting. You are exactly the parents I got, and I take you as you are. This is not forgiveness. It's alignment with reality. And reality, once accepted, begins to support us. For many people, blocked receiving also hides misplaced burdens. Children often carry things that belong to the adults. Grief, loneliness, shame, rage, unlived dreams. They do this out of love. But love does not require confusion. Healing means returning what was never ours to hold. Dear Mom, dear Dad, I carried this for you because I loved you. Now I leave it with you. with respect. This does not abandon the parents. It restores their dignity, and it frees the child to receive again. Another deep block to receiving comes from protection. Many of us learned, if I take too much, someone else will suffer. So we shrink our lives to stay connected. But parents do not need their children to be small. They need their children to take life fully. The healing sentence here is quiet and strong. You can carry your fate. I trust you. This gives strength back to the parents and releases the children from loyalty through deprivation. Receiving is also blocked when someone in the system has been excluded: a sibling who died, a pregnancy that ended, a former partner, a disgraced family member, someone who caused harm, someone who was forgotten. When someone is excluded, love stops flowing at that point, and no one beyond that point can receive fully. Inclusion restores flow. You belong. You have a place. Nothing more is needed. At a certain point in the healing, something shifts. The adult no longer faces the parents. The parents move behind and life comes into view. Receiving love then becomes less about people and more about life itself. The posture changes, facing forward, supported from behind, and the sentence becomes, yes, life, I take you. This is where receiving begins to feel natural again, not dramatic, not overwhelming, just available. Support can arrive without panic. Love can be taken without collapse. Joy can exist without guilt, not because the past changed, but because the order was restored. The truth is this: your difficulty receiving love was never a failure. It was an act of devotion. You adapted to protect belonging. And now, you don't need that strategy anymore. Receiving heals, not when we push past our defenses, but when we honor why they were created. When loyalty no longer requires self-denial, love can flow again. And it does. Quietly, reliably, naturally. Just as it was always meant to.